was.
What have we learned from investigations and from this investigative report that was released?
You know, I think we've learned that the FBI has a lot of work to do in terms of better coordinating their efforts with local and state authorities. They seem unable to do that. I don't know whether it's just within an institutional difficulty that they can't get over, but they have a real problem communicating with local and state officials. They had it here. They've had it in past chapters.
They had it at 9/11.
Yes.
I didn't blame them or the CIA.
No,
there was a real conflict
nor am I blaming the
agencies.
FBI for the Sarnoff brothers not being apprehended earlier, but that's something that really has to be taken care of. It has not yet been taken care of.
If you could take a poll in Boston as to what should happen to Tsarnaev, what would it be?
You know, it depends on how the question is asked, obviously, but I think if you probed enough people with a series of questions about the upcoming trial, I think you might be surprised in that people, I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
You know, put them in jail forever, whatever, you know. Get on with my life. I'm not going to obsess about the trial. I'm not going to pay much attention to it. There are other more important things to do. The health of my children, for those wounded and maimed, they're going to be saying, you know, get up every day and go to work, get on with your life, and whatever happens, happens.
Has Boston become even more of what it was because of this? Is this somehow you recognize that there's something about you that you want to cherish and you want to make stronger? Well, because it served you so well.
Well, one of the more interesting elements, I think, about the marathon, that it's been referenced several times, but it hasn't really been focused on, I don't think, enough. And Joel epitomizes it when he was talking about running last year and he's going back to run this year.
Yeah.
The marathon, the Boston Marathon, has always been truly unique. It is a holiday, Patriots' Day, when it's run. And therefore, it's a family day. You bring your children, 8 years of age, as Martin Richards was 8 years of age when his family brought him down to the finish line. It's 36,000 runners this year, huge field. I can remember it when it was basically 15 guys from Finland running, and you know they'd win and get a sauna and then go home, and very few people paid attention.
Guys from Kenya that would win.
Yeah,
yes.
But now it's a huge, huge thing. But once the first 75 or 100 runners cross that finish line, the elite runners,
right,
with sneaker contracts and making a lot of money, the rest of the marathon is you, Charlie,
right,
and it's you, Joel, and it's nurses and school teachers and cops and ordinary people running for various causes. That's the way it's always been. That's the way hopefully it always will be. And I think the focus on the fact that ordinary people fuel the marathon, run the marathon, as well as the lines thick with people along all 26 miles, cheering Joel through Wellesley, down the hills past Boston College, and then you're exhausted, and the crowd just draws you in as you come down Commonwealth Avenue and pull you forward. When you think you can't take another step, they pull Joel forward and everybody else forward. That's what the marathon is. It's people.
Boston Strong. Who came up with the slogan?
Unknown.
Really?
Yeah, at least to me.
Yeah, me too. It says Boston Strong is more than a slogan. It symbolizes the resilience and accomplishments of the survivors rather than the vulnerability of victims. It focuses not on the ability of two brothers to terrorize a community, but on the courage of its citizens in the aftermath. We remember not only the evil act that claimed innocent lives, but also the tremendous determination of those who, despite suffering broken bones, amputated limbs, or major disfigurements, now lead productive lives. That is the story.
Yeah, it is the story. The people of the story. The people who are there, the people who are running. There were, I don't know how many total runners there were last year, maybe 32,000. But there were 32,000 stories. We're in the storytelling business, Charlie.
Care about it,
And there were just so many stories. Jeff Bauman, who lost both legs, he and his fiancée are expecting their first child in July. That's a wonderful story. That's a story of hope. It's a story of the future. Martin Richards, 8 years of age, who with his father and his mother and his sister Jane go to the marathon to watch the finish because, again, it's family day. Marathon is family day in Boston. You take all the kids to watch the runners and have fun. It's an exciting element. He loses his life there, and yet his life is not lost. He is still with us, just the symbol of Martin Richards. the posters of this child and the way people have rallied around the Richards family and the Richards family themselves, carrying themselves with such dignity after such a devastating loss. It gives people strength. It gives people hope. I can recall when my children were younger, when they were 8 years of age, taking them to the marathon, and for many years after that. And you see these people who have been broken and maimed and wounded, and you saw them in the hospital. I saw them in the hospital, some of them. And you see them today, and they are literally, no pun intended, up on their feet.